Hi, this is Andy from Blackville Brides, and you are tuned into Side Jams with Bryan Reesman.
Greetings, everyone. This is Bryan Reesman, host of Side Jams, where we talk to musicians about their outside passions and their hobbies. And today we have a fishing roundtable. We have the 6-string shredders, Rowe from Tetrarch.
Hey, hey.
Joe Hottinger from Halestorm.
Hello.
And the bombastic Blöthar the Berserker, but in this case, Mike Bishop from GWAR.
Yes.
I thought it'd be interesting to get all of you together. I know you guys like to fish and done it in varying degrees over the years. I guess maybe the first question really is, how did you guys each get into fishing? How did that all start out?
I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, why not?
You know, it's weird. I say this about like guitar too. Like maybe my brain, something's wrong with my brain, but like when I got into guitar, I was like, I feel like I was just sitting in a car one day and I was like, you know what? I want to play guitar. I feel like fishing was kind of like the same thing. I was like home from tour and I was in LA and I was like sitting on my couch and I was like, man, I'm a little bored. And I was like, I'm gonna pull up, like it was a like a Bass Pro or some competition on TV, but I pulled it up on YouTube and I was like, I'm just gonna watch some bass. My granddad used to fish, so like maybe that's where it came from. And I was like, I'm just gonna watch this, some fishing, some bass fishing or something. And from that point on, I just like became it was like my second obsession. I don't know why. Like it just started that day. And I started like watching a bunch of YouTube videos and like anybody who would go fishing with me, I would just go fishing. And I just like it was just like a natural born hobby. It was like you know what I mean? It's so weird how that happened for me, but now I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe?
I grew up in Wisconsin, and my dad, I remember when I was a kid, my grandparents lived on Lake Winnebago, so we'd go up there all the time and fish off the dock or go out. My dad eventually like got a little fishing boat, and we'd go up wherever, just go fishing all the time. And then, then I got into high school and college, and I didn't think about it for 20 years. And then we moved into a lake house here outside of Nashville, and like kind of just dove right back in. I was like, oh yeah, fishing, this rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lizzie told me about that when I interviewed her about her painting. Actually, we were talking about her. She was like, lake to table, I'm providing for the family.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd eat anything out of this lake, but
So Mike, what about you?
Well, my grand folks, like my dad's side of the family, came from Manteo, North Carolina, which is right by the Outer Banks. So, I grew up doing a lot of saltwater fishing with my grandfather, and freshwater fishing too. And it was just fun. I loved it, and I became obsessed when I was pretty young. And then I have cousins who, like my first cousins, which is weird. Like 3 of them are tournament fishermen. I can't stand fishing with them because they don't stay in one place. Like they just turn, we managed to find a way to turn everything we love into a job. It's like, I'm going to go out and they just move around too much. But I just love it. I think it's got a lot of the same sort of fetishistic characteristics that like, loving music gear does, right? Like, got to get all the stuff, got to get all the right colors, got to know what to do, got to figure out what the fish think. It's like my little nephew, one of my tournament fishing cousins, he catches a lot of fish. And I asked him, and he's only a little guy, he's like 9. And I was like, how do you do it, man? And he was like, you got to think like a fish.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously there's different types of fishing, and you guys also live in different areas. I mean, Joe, I know you're in the Tennessee area, right?
Yeah.
Diamond, you're West Coast.
Yeah, I'm back and forth. So I'm from Georgia. So I'm actually in Georgia right now. So I'm
Okay.
in LA a lot. I have a place in LA and a place here, but I'm here now. So
Okay. And then
yeah.
Mike, you're down.
I live in Sarasota, Florida,
Okay.
but I'm from Virginia. And I'm actually in Virginia right now because GWAR is getting ready to do some stuff, and I was recording a project.
So then, for each of you, what types of what types of fish are in your area then, and how does that affect the type of fishing that you're doing? So I know there's a lot of different types of fishing. There's angling, there's fly fishing, there's surf fishing, there's kayak angling.
Well, we know I'm not doing any kayaking because I would be a lot skinnier. No, I I like to I'm like I chase bass a lot. I love like largemouth bass. Um, I'm from Georgia, so that's like there's a lot of that. I also do like a lot of like I like crappie fishing and stuff like that, like panfish stuff that you can just catch and eat. And then like my mom's side of the family is from Michigan. So up there you could do like, walleye and
Mm.
stuff like that, which is also really fun. And you don't see a lot of that down here in Georgia. Or like pike and stuff like that. So, but mainly for me, I chase bass. That would be my number one.
And on your
Same.
Instagram, you have rainbow trout also. I think you caught
I
some
do,
rainbow
yeah.
trout.
I actually every now and then I go up to North Georgia and do some trout fishing.
So what kind of fishing then would you say you do mainly?
Bass.
Just bass?
Yeah.
And Mike, what about you?
I do mostly these days in Sarasota. I do all saltwater, and it's mostly uh, wade fishing because it's so warm and it's so easy, And I just uh, that's kind of cool because it's a little more like hunting than fishing, right? Like you've got uh, they just sort of have to go to the right places, and you keep moving around a lot, and I like it. I do get some exercise doing that. Uh, yeah, I know it's like the only. I'll look at my thing, where it counts how much you walk. It's like you walked 5 miles today. I'm like, no way, because I would never do that. Like unless I was in the water, But mostly that's what I do. And then sometimes in the summertime when it's real hot, uh, we'll go at night in a boat and do fish for snook
Mm.
um, off of docks and stuff like that.
What's snook like?
Snook are big uh, line-sided fish. They got a big old black line down their side, and the females get pretty big. The males are all the same size. They all start the same sex, which I think is really interesting, and then they turn into either male or females. And the females are very, pretty large, like, a couple feet long, 3 feet long, and then uh, the males are all about a foot and a half, or a foot. So it's fun though. They're good to eat. They're very good to eat.
I imagine Blöthar would do spear fishing, or he'd probably just stick his head in the water and see what he could find.
Yeah, definitely. You just yeah.
You can imagine. What about you, Joe?
I'm pretty much into bass fishing. That for some reason that's always just been. I remember doing that with my dad, like up north in Wisconsin, and then when we moved in here, I like went to Bass Pro and got a rod, and I just started like casting off the dock, and got frustrated that I couldn't move around, so I ended up getting a kayak and going around, and then got frustrated that it wasn't enough. I wanted to go to more places, so we ended up getting like this like fishing pontoon boat that you can just kind of. It's got a trolling motor. You can just kind of go in and out of the coves. It's still a party boat, but you can. It's like a mullet. You can fish off it too, and yeah. Now, like I haven't been that deep into it in a little bit. Now I just like if it's warm out, I'll go out at sunset and just kind of put my feet in the water and cast and chill and watch the colors change and then go in. It's more of a Zen thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden was telling me for him it was very meditative. Um, Lizzie had mentioned to me it was about she liked the chase, but she also liked the casting and the reeling. I mean, Mike Diamond, is it the same thing for you? Just a good way to chill?
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of those people. I don't have like anxiety or anything like that, but I feel like I'm one of those people where my brain is always like, especially with like music and just like the industry we're in, I'm always like thinking about what I need to be doing next. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like, okay, what I need, but like when I go, that is the one thing I can do that like really like truly calms me down. I don't think about I can do it and not think about other things I need to be doing. I can just go cast, and it's a way for me to get outside too, because I don't get outside as much as I probably should. I like hate being hot, but it's the one, and I hate bugs. So it's all like it's so bizarre. But like when I go fishing, I'm like swatting. I don't care. I just love being out there and I love fishing. But like if you stick me outside doing anything else, I'm just like, oh, it's so hot, but I can literally like just zone out and fish for hours and hours, and it just is like a way for me to just like I don't know, just relax, like truly relax. So I guess it's the same as what you were saying for like pretty much everyone else.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, it's completely meditative. I mean, that's what it is. And I think it always has been, like from what I've read about it, which, yeah, I do read about fishing. Some good books about fishing, man. Um, and yeah, it's always, just it's also like a way to be in nature and to be close to nature and to feel like uh like you're a part of things. And you don't, and I think that a lot of fishermen, not most, but because there's a fair amount that just are horrible, but uh I think most of them are environmentalists, like even the sort of like big redneck dudes, like, when it comes to this, they know that they need to protect that resource, and they uh, care about it. And, um, so it is sort of just like being a part of the natural world that I think feels really good.
It's interesting, Diamond, because I was chatting with Jacoby from Papa Roach a couple of years ago, and we were talking about he likes kayaking, he likes running, and he says one of the things he likes to do is run without music because he thinks too much about, sometimes he's thinking too much about the industry. If he's got some tunes going on while he's running, he's thinking about other bands and what he's got to do and comparing himself to other bands. Do you find that doing something like this just frees you just from worrying about any of that for a little while?
100%. Because it's really weird. It's funny you say that. Me and Josh and my band, like we'll go on like if we have to do long drives, like you know, most people like blast music for the whole drive or something like that. We always joke we'll do like 12-hour drives together and not listen to music at all. We'll just talk. And like people think that's so weird. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like when I listen to it's so like I love music. It's like the most
Yeah.
important thing in my life. But like I go through these phases where like if I listen to music, it's like literally I'm thinking, even going to shows a lot now. Like I love going to shows and I can go see like my favorite bands like Metallica or something like that and like truly just like let loose. But for the most part, when I go to shows, I feel like I'm like thinking the entire time. I'm like, oh, what they just did was super cool. Or like, oh shit, maybe I should work on that. Or like, it's like it's ridiculous. But I guess, it's just like I'm always Jacoby said, just thinking about, what I need to be doing, what I'm not doing, and so yeah, fishing is one of those things where I'm not competing with anything. It's not a competition, but you know what I mean? I'm not like competing with anything. I'm not even competing with myself really. I'm just like doing something that I truly enjoy and that I can like, you know, take if it's a bad day and I don't catch anything, it sucks, but like that doesn't like have any bearing on my life. You know what I mean? It's just like something I can do truly for enjoyment. Whereas like, maybe musically most of it is for enjoyment, but you know, you gotta get you gotta get something out of it too, it's your job. So
Now, Joe, when you guys were younger and maybe a little more foolish, I'm assuming there was the drunken fishing party boat. Was that
You know, we're pretty responsible. Try not to get too wild. We did get into, like, for a few years on tour. Like once we got up into like Montana, we'd go like I got to try fly fishing for the first time, like like an
what
eight
was that
hour
like?
trip down this river with this guide. It was awesome, and we would like hire guides like in South Dakota, Montana. I did one up in Maine, up on a Penobscot River, like catching
Mm,
smallmouth, and I mean that's an awesome day off when you can get out on the water. Just getting out on the water alone is like that like changes your whole mindset. But
yeah.
yeah, just getting some like learning some new fishing techniques or how they do it in that area, or even just like fly fishing is such a rhythm. It's another little more active Zen. I remember how sore my arm was after 8 hours of that, but it's just, yeah, I love like, and then you get to see other parts of it, like you're saying on tour, we're in cities or in these amphitheaters outside of town. It's hard to get anywhere beautiful. You're driving through the beautiful parts of the country at night.
Right.
So to get out on just and see these rivers or lakes or whatever is awesome.
What are some unusual places you guys have fished at, either on tour or just on vacation?
I wish I could remember the name of that river in Montana. It's the one they did. A river. Is it a river runs through it?
Through it?
That's one of the places, and the Black Hills in South Dakota has a lot of good trout fishing. We went out, man. It was raining, but it was like 30 degrees. It was a pretty awful day. It was just cold, but we caught so many fish, like such big trout. It was awesome, and it was beautiful, like going around those hills.
Oh, the Gallatin River?
Was it? No, I guess maybe it wasn't it. It was something north of
Oh, the shadow casting fishing. Oh, see.
Missoula.
I'll keep looking here.
Wow. Yeah.
What about you guys as far as interesting or unusual places?
Well, honestly, tackle shops are unusual places. When I travel around, I love just going to tackle shops and meeting people. If I can find one that's close to a venue, but I go to and nothing really exotic, but while we travel, I do try to fish. And that is where I have gotten into, like some freshwater stuff. The great thing about bass fishing is that there's just bass are everywhere. There's a lot of places you can go. Even some of the theaters, like the amphitheaters that you play, will have like a little water impoundment, and you can go drop a line in there, and people are always amazed when you catch fish. What's that big place in New Jersey? The one that's like right on the water, and it's like I can't remember, but it's a big theater. It's right on the water.
Jones Beach.
Yes, that's it.
That's
Jones
it.
Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jones Beach is Long Island. So yeah, because they also have flooding out there. If it rains too much, water will actually come into the first tier. It's kind of a strange setup. I'm amazed they did that out there. But I guess if your show is being postponed, I guess you could just go fishing off the side of the stage or something. I don't know.
I love it. That place, I actually did all right there. Like and at night you could just see like really large striped bass swimming in the lights. And I was like, God, because nothing I had was going to bring those in. So I was like, better not fish for them.
What about you, Diamond?
It's funny. I think sometimes it's really cool. First off, when I drag my fishing poles onto the bus or anything, like my whole band is like, "Oh my gosh!" And, I think it's cool to actually. I know this is weird, but like you can find like little swamp ponds and stuff in the back of venues sometimes. Just little random spot off the side of the road. Sometimes there's like under like overpasses and stuff like that. If you drop a line down there, sometimes you'll grab something out of there, even if they're like little small bass or freaking bluegill or something, you'll get something out of there. And I've been doing that since we were in a van. Like when we were even in a van and we would play like tiny venues, I would just like find little holes of water behind the venues. Like I remember one time I did it in South Dakota once and go back in the woods a little bit. And even if it's just, like I said, even if you're just catching like bluegill or something back there, like you said, people are always amazed, like you actually caught something back there. But I'm like, these are the best places to go because they're not pressured at all. No one's hitting them. And like, it's like there's so much cover back there, like down trees and stuff like that. You can pull bass out of that, no one's going back there fishing. So they bite. So like that would be the unconventional route that I would always take usually. And then like there have been times where we've had a day off and like maybe I've gotten a guide or something like that, which is always super fun. But I always have like poles nearby because it's always super cool to just like see what you can pull out of like random spots of water.
Yep.
So
That's cool. Yeah. I think I know Adrian from Maiden was saying he once tried fishing in Central Park. It's not so easy.
no, it's so pressured. Like even like in like LA is not like obviously the best fishing place ever, but like you go to like somewhere like Echo Park or something, and there's like a million people fishing a day. Those fish are so not enticed by, and they're in there, like, but they just are like, no, thank you, you know.
They're jaded. They're jaded
Yeah,
fish.
they're like, we've seen this before. But you go somewhere that isn't super pressured, random spots, and you can pull some stuff out of there.
What's the biggest fish you guys have ever caught?
Biggest bass I ever caught was behind an amphitheater in Oregon. There was like a lake back there, and it was like right at sunset, and I had this one of those magnum, like black magnum worms, you know what they're called. And I was just we went out with this guide here, and he was like, count the rocks, you know, when you just when you're just dragging it on the what is it called? Like I forget the name of the hook style, but he's like, just count the rocks, you know, slowly going. And man, I pulled in, I must have been a 3 or 4 pound largemouth, and I was like,
That's
oh my
awesome.
god, it's just like, oh my god. That's fun. That's fun when you got to let them run and kind of
Yeah.
work with them and tire them out instead of just reeling them right in. That's a good time.
Yeah, it is.
What about you guys?
I think I did about a 6 pound largemouth I was on a guided trip though. So like part of me is like, maybe this doesn't count but I guess, like I feel bad. I'm like, well, someone was helping me, but like, I did catch it. It was a 6 pound largemouth. I think it was Lake Casitas in Southern Cal, like it was outside of LA. I think that's the one in Ojai. Either that or yeah, I think it's Lake Casitas up in like Ojai. Yeah, it was sick.
That's a big largemouth.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it was. But it's like you watch like all these guys like because like I said, I do watch YouTube videos of people fishing. You watch all these guys and they're pulling out like 12 pounders. You're like, oh my gosh. But yeah, it felt big to me. It was cool.
Well, doing saltwater it's a little unfair because there's just
Yeah, I know.
bigger fish.
Yeah.
But weirdly, the biggest fish that I caught was in freshwater underneath a dam in Nelson County, Virginia. I caught about a 38-pound flathead catfish.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. And he burned the drag out on this Daiwa reel that I had, like not running. It was like pulling in a log, and that's actually what I thought I had for a long time. I was like, oh, this is just I'm snagged. Let me get this out, And then he comes up, and I was fishing with like a little chub, like a sucker fish, really, and you could see him. He was like looking at the sucker fish and just going, not fighting at all, just still trying to eat that thing.
just big
That's
dumb
it.
river monsters.
No, yeah,
That's a GWAR fish right there.
yeah.
Big GWAR. Did you bring it on stage?
No, we have had fish on stage, but that was
Of course you have.
yeah.
That sounds smelly.
Are there maybe misconceptions that a lot of people have about fishing? Things that you've learned about as you started doing this more and more?
I don't know, a misconception about fishing.
Or maybe stereotypes about fishing?
I think
Yeah,
like
I'm just a walking like like contradiction completely. So I mean, in that regard, everyone is pretty shocked that. But I feel like it's not. I feel like a lot of like, I guess if you meet a lot of people, they'll be like, "Oh, you fish?" Like I don't know if that's I'm a girl or I'm a black girl or whatever. That's like But I feel like that's not. I feel like so many different types of people fish. So I could say that. I guess it depends on who you meet in that, with that one. Because like I have met a ton of people who think that it's just like a, like white guy thing to do or something.
Old man. And Joe, you would say you're doing old man fishing lately.
yeah,
But I feel like it's really not. Like so many people do, so I don't know. I mean, it's weird though, because like I'm like on a mission. I want to go noodling so bad. And
Mm.
Oh man.
now that is something that people are like, oh, okay, Diamond, just like we gotta have some boundaries. But
You're a
I
guitar
do.
player.
I know. Oh yeah, that's true. I'm sure. Yeah, that's true.
So what are the risks then doing that if you're a guitar player?
I mean, you stick your hand in a hole basically, and a catfish just bite your arm. That's how you catch it. So, I mean, I guess a lot of things could go wrong, but Joe just I did I to be honest, as stupid as this sounds, I've never thought. No, I'm like, dang, you're right. No.
Yeah, that doing that, I don't know, that freaks me out. I don't know if I could just
It's
stick my hand in.
scary.
Uh,
Yeah.
It's terrifying,
yeah.
but that's why I want to do
Yeah, that's cool.
it.
Flathead don't have teeth. I mean, they've just got that like weird uh
Yeah, it's like kind of like sandpaper.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They got rough lips. I
Yeah.
guess what you say. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people think that fishing is kind of I think that you're right, that Diamond, that people think it's kind of a like a white redneck activity. That
Yeah.
might be a stereotype. And in fact, I mean, one of the best things about fishing to me is all of the different kinds of people that I meet doing it. Like especially like if you go to a and just the rules, like the ways of being that different people have, like um, eh, I've just met so many cool people fishing off of jetties and piers. That's a great place to meet folks. And learning about how they do it, and there's all different kinds of people. I mean, Hispanic people love to fish, like
Hmm.
Asian people love to fish, but black folks love to fish. Like you can, that's and everybody does it, you know, different ways, like just individuals. And um it's definitely true that there's you know, in tackle shops. Tackle shops are weird spots, man. I know I keep saying that, but it's like music stores, right? It's
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
always going to be, it's just
Get some good old boys in there.
yeah, you do.
I was wondering about that. It's the types of people that you meet because obviously different context for you when you're at a show or you're in town and people know who you are. I always think it's good. Like I'm sure you guys do too. You have friends that aren't in the business. It's important to have people that kind of keep you grounded outside of whatever it is that you do. Have you made friendships this way through fishing?
I've made a lot of them. I mean, because living in Sarasota, it's just a lot. I mean, I don't know a lot of the people there. I moved there because my wife is from there, so like, uh, it. I just don't know people, and I wound up hanging out with a lot of retired cops and firemen, that sort of guys that serve in the military and then have a second retirement, like so they got a double retirement and they're pretty young, like close to my age, which I mean I'm 57 years old, so like running around with a guy who's 60 or 65 is not that big of a difference, and uh it's just, yeah, I mean, I love meeting folks and doing that, and they become my friends, and I go fishing with them, go wade fishing, especially all the time, or meet them at the, because fishing by yourself sucks. Like it's definitely, I do it a lot because I have to, but it's always funner if you have somebody, to look at the fish that you catch, right? And talk
Mm.
to.
A shared joy, shared happiness
Mm-hmm.
always wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've definitely met people fishing. One of my good friends here I met fishing. And it's really cool too, because it's like like as a guitar player, it's sick when like you meet someone that you like look up to in music, even no matter where you are in your musical career, like, or someone even online might follow you, like, if James Hetfield follows you or something, you're like, hell yeah, that's sick. But like when you also have something like fishing, like there have been times when like pro anglers have followed me, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so,
Yeah.
people are like, what? But it's like, it's really cool to like feel that connection to something else, or like because they do something completely different. Um, so I've met a lot of people. I've met people on planes, and like it's a talking point for me a lot, even just playing guitar because people don't expect that. But also, I've met a lot of people talking about fishing too. Just, like they'll see I have a shirt on, like, or like I like Abu Garcia reels, so I'll have like a shirt on or something like that. And there'll be some like old veteran sitting next to me on the plane, and he's like, "You like to fish?" And it starts like this like 2 hour long conversation, you know what I mean? And it's really cool even if we don't fish together, we never talk again. It is really cool to connect with people that like theoretically I never would, without that. So yeah, I've met friends through fishing, like that we've met solely through fishing that are outside of the industry, but I've also met just like people that I just have an instant, connection with for that moment, and then, we go our separate ways. But
Yep.
yeah.
Uber drivers.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of Uber drivers.
I was curious how, I don't know how technical we want to get, but like sort of preferred kind of rods, bait and tackle, the certain things you like to use.
So since I fish for bass a lot, I don't use a lot of like live bait. I use a lot of like artificial, like Senkos, like artificial worms, or like I catch a lot of bass on like the bandito bugs, like the little, you know, like those Guggen Squad bandito bugs and all of that. I catch so many bass on that here and at Georgia for some reason. I don't know why. A lot of people say like they do like the green pumpkin or whatever color. I don't know. I catch a lot on black and blue. Like black and blue is just like the color I catch bass on all the time here. I don't know why. Um,
Hmm.
so there's that. And then like my favorite, honestly, it's not the most expensive rod and reel ever, but I have so many. But my favorite is like this Abu Garcia Revo X like combo that I have, this bait casting combo that I got. It feels the best, and I just catch fish on it constantly. I don't, it's just like, so that would
How
be,
many? How many? I gotta ask.
how many fish do I catch
No,
on it?
no. How many? How many rods?
Oh, how many rods and reels do I have? Probably like, it's probably not a ton to y'all, but probably like 15.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So
Yeah.
there's more rods than you have guitars in the background.
And that's about what I've got.
That you can see. I'm moving into this room, so there's
Okay.
everywhere.
It's another thing to collect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really like that turned into a problem with me a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
With the guitars or the rods?
the rods, because you go out and it's like I want a different like lure set up on every single rod and
Yeah,
reel, so I don't have to sit
exactly.
there and retie. So next thing I know, I've got like 8 of them lined up next to me, so I can just keep trying, see what the fish are doing that day.
Exactly.
Yeah. I use a pretty much the same thing all the time. 10-pound braid with a 7.5 foot rod. I have various different ones that some of, because I do a lot of popping cork fishing, like so you need a real sort of flexible tip for that. And then uh, I mostly fish with artificials now too. And I use a lot of Shimano reels and some of some Daiwa stuff, but they're all like 2,500 or 3,000 series, unless I'm fishing for tarpon,
Mm.
and that takes a bigger reel. But it's, and just buying that stuff, knowing what it is, looking at it. Yeah. It's a total thing. Like, just like learning knots. Learning knots is just so much fun. And to me,
What knot do you tie the most?
honestly, I tie a double uni
Yeah,
probably.
okay.
Um, and I use a Palomar knot a lot.
Yeah, that's what
Um, and I use loop knots on the end of my reels, like or on the end of any jig fishing that I do. Is a loop knot at the end.
It's funny how you guys have a hobby that also requires you to use your hands a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's a coincidence?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. I'm pretty I have pretty good finger dexterity, and like I've always been good with my hands. Like I can fix things. But it's bizarre. My other guitar player, he plays guitar and he's a good guitar player. But if you ask him to do anything else with his hands, he like starts shaking. Like he can't. Like he has like the worst. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's so weird. We laugh about it all the time. If we're like, hey, can you just stick this like string through this hole or something? He's like, I'm like, how do you play music? But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with being good with their hands. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just fishing to me is just so much damn fun. That's just that's the main thing about
To
it.
put it simply.
Yeah. And yeah, you can get obsessive about it and obsessive about, and I think I probably definitely do. But I just love it. And I think there's a lot of optimism in it that might have something in common with music, right? Like, you know, to have the audacity to think, right, like when you're playing, like you know, you sort of imagine something before it exists, right? Like fishing, you do the same thing. It's like every first cast, there's nothing more optimistic than that, than throwing that line out there, you know, like what the hell is going to hit, you know? And then like over time, you sort of gain more knowledge, and it's less of a guess and it's more of a, you know, they're probably going to be here, you know? And that's really, to me, that's one of the funnest things about it really is the creatures, you know, like I just love them. Like they're so cool. And
I think it's just like you said, I think it's so sick too, because I get like, I love catching the fish, like obviously, but I get so happy when I'm like, you know what, there's probably one hiding from the sun under this down tree over here, you know, or near this sewer, and I pull one out. I'm like, yes, you know what I mean? Like that's one of the coolest parts, is just being like, I'm thinking like a fish right now, you know?
That is the best part. Like,
yeah,
you know, and you feel connected to them.
Yeah.
You know, and you kind of love them in a way. I mean, I think that a lot of, and yeah, you might eat them, you know, if you get a flounder or something good, but like, definitely there's some passion involved and respect for the animals, you know.
I love the little guys. I'm like, oh, thanks, buddy. You know, like that was fun, and
give him a little kiss.
Get him back in there.
Gotta give him a little kiss before you put him back in there.
What percentage do you think do you actually eat of what you catch, and how much do you return?
Minuscule.
Yeah.
Very, very small amount. And the worst damn thing in the world is to kill one by accident. Hate it.
Yeah.
I did that to a trout one time. We were in Idaho on tour one time, and I remember I caught I foul hooked a trout once, and he, you know, when I got it out finally and released him, this is so silly. This was years ago, but I like went to release him and he had died. I woke up in the middle of the night that night and I was like, oh, that's so sad. It's so weird. And I remember thinking like about that years from now. I still remember clearly.
Yes.
Because it was completely accidental. Like, and I felt so bad. I was like, oh, that was probably miserable. But since like I always fish for bass, I always pretty much put them back. I feel like, and I don't know for you guys, when you do go out and catch fish to eat, it's usually like intentional though. Like you're like, okay, I'm gonna go catch, you know, I'm gonna go crappie fishing and catch something for dinner. But like when I'm just going out for fun, it's always release.
Yeah, fishing to keep it is more work because you have to carry stuff to keep the fish, and you have to sort of plan that way. And there's definitely, of course, in Florida, there's like so much sort of ecological devastation that you can't really keep snook or trout or redfish or any thing like that most of the time. The only fish that I catch that I eat are mangrove snapper and flounder. And I know when they're out there because it's particular times of year, and I know where they are. And I'll go with a big bucket and some buddies, and that's what we're trying to do is get a bunch of fish to bring back. But that percentage wise, man, like 0.01, I would say.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the last time I kept one. Just send them back.
Yeah.
Go grow bigger. We'll see you later.
Well, just lastly, do you guys have any questions for each other? Any other fishing questions?
Want to go fishing?
Let's
go. Since you're in Florida, you should look up. Have you ever seen on Instagram? There's a guy. It's like this black guy with like a grill in his mouth. It's called Hood
Fishman.
What was his name?
Hood Fishing.
Yeah.
He has like millions of followers, but he like fishes for snook a lot and stuff like that. And
I'd love to hook up with that dude. He's a total badass.
He's so sick.
He's in South Florida, and he's over on the like the Miami side. Like I'm on the Gulf.
Yeah.
But he's a very skilled guy, and he actually seems really sweet too. Like he looks kind of tough, but he's
like really down to earth actually, and like he looks. I mean, I think that's part of like his brand or whatever. But it's crazy. He catches some really cool fish, and he makes it look so easy. Like he's just like, this is how we're gonna do it, and he just does. Catches a ton of fish that way.
Awesome.
Yeah, just peacock. Like which
dude, I want to go peacock bass fishing so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I gotta look up peacock fish. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
they're beautiful.
They're like they're bass, but they're like they have a little color on them. They fight harder, I think, than like a regular largemouth, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Good to talk to you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
kiss him next time.
Give him a smooch.
Wow.
Yeah, just a little kiss on the forehead.